AITA for letting a girl at school try my lunch when she asked after I told her the ingredients. TLDR at the end. Alright, so I'm in high school. I live in Massachusetts and was born and raised here. There's this girl Sophie at my school who's tried to be my friend since freshman year. She's nice enough, I guess. But she will annoyingly try and speak for me about topics she really doesn't know about, and I feel like I'm a token for her to go off on some things because I'm black and Japanese and I'm being raised by my uncle and his husband, so I'm like a super valuable addition to her friend collection to validate her IDK. Sophie's family is vegan and she will go off about how it's our job to speak those without a voice. And said I especially should know that. So one time I tried explaining that my uncle literally grew up so poor his family hunted and also ate roadkill to get by. So I mean they ate things like possums, squirrels, nutria, alligators, whatever. And extended family still lives like this because there's people in poverty that don't have many choices. She just shut it down, saying it doesn't matter why. It's immoral to eat animals for any reason. And also basically implied that the level of poverty I'm talking about doesn't exist in the US. So anyway, my uncle made jambalaya and it slaps, so I brought it for lunch. She was asking about it and I was like, it's jambalaya. She had no idea what it was and I said IDK, it's Cajun food. Then she asked what's in it, so I said this one had like rice, tomatoes, peppers, celery, pheasant, andouille, Cajun spices. She said she was just so interested to learn about my culture. And I said it's not really my culture. It's my non-bio uncle's side. She asked if she could try some and I said it's got pheasant and andouille in it, and she didn't seem to care, so I said sure, try some then. She really dug in and next thing I know she's spitting it out and asking if there's meat in there. And I'm like, yeah, like I just told you. Apparently she thought I was describing specific spices that were in there and didn't realize a pheasant is a bird. She's kind of now got a lot of people at school texting me telling me I'm pretty terrible for tricking her and that I need to apologize to her. And even my friend implied she thought I did it on purpose because it's clear I don't like Sophie. Yeah, she annoys me, but I wouldn't try and make her eat something she doesn't want. But I told her twice what's in the food. IDK, what else to do about that? TLDR, vegan girl at school asked to try my food. I told her it's got pheasant and andouille in it. She ate it and is mad I tricked her into eating meat because she thought those were spices, not animals. People at school think I did it on purpose. NTA. It's not your fault she doesn't know what pheasant is. And Sophie has a lot of maturing to do. NTA. I'm vegan and it's on me to know what I'm eating. It's not like you offered the food to her. She is the one who asked to try it. Her lack of knowledge about different animal names is not your fault. If she had any doubts, she should have asked if there was any meat in the food. Honestly, I've never had vegan jambalaya. It's pretty safe to assume that 99.9% of all jambalaya has meat in it. Imagine this scenario. I'm allergic to nuts. Can I try your almond butter? It's got almonds in it. Sounds great. And I can't wait to experience this aspect of your culture. Falls over dead like Vizzini. NTA. NTA. You tried to warn her. It's not your fault she didn't know what pheasant or andouille are. She sounds like a nightmare. NTA. You legit told her what the ingredients were. She should have asked if she didn't know what something was. InTA. Just stop talking to Sophie, be polite, but she sounds exhausting. Vegan loves animals but doesn't know what animals are. Totally NTA. You told her twice what was in the food. She sounds exhausting as well as condescending. I'd avoid her from now on. Sophie is an entitled, self-obsessed pain in the backside. Ignore her. She only views you as a token friend anyway. You have nothing to apologize for. If you don't know what something is, you ask. Especially if you have dietary restrictions. It's really not that difficult. You could have insisted more that it's not vegan. But there are people who would still try a bit sometimes and call themselves vegan. So NTA, but you could have been more clear. NTA, it is her own fault for not asking if there was meat in it. So now she knows that pheasant and andouille are meat. She probably should have known at least that a pheasant is a bird. You probably should have specified that, as she seems to be a bit sheltered. NTA. If someone says a word for a food I don't know, my immediate follow-up question is, oh, what's that? Quote, for someone with dietary restrictions, they should be doubly curious, cautious to ask, what's that? Anytime someone says a food they don't know, it could be a seasoning with gelatin in it, meat, animal byproduct, some sort of flavored honey, a type of cheese or milk product. There are so many animal-related things pheasant and andouille could have been. Automatically assuming both of those things are spices was a foolish assumption for a vegan to make. NTA, her not knowing what andouille is can be excused because many people don't know either. But pheasant? Really? And let's be real, Cajun food is known to be extremely meat and seafood heavy. This Sophie girl is ignorant as hell and her entitlement is off the charts. As for the people telling you that you should apologize, I would tell them that as a high school-aged person and a vegan she should have known what a pheasant is and you shouldn't be blamed for her ignorance. NTA. You warned her. Not your fault that she didn't know pheasant and andouille are meats. Even if she never heard of the sausage. Everyone knows what a pheasant is by the time they reach high school. NTA. You told her there was meat in it. It's not your fault she's an idiot. And to the people messaging, you tell them it's not your fault she thought pheasant was a spice. NTA. And hopefully Sophie leaves you alone from now on and that she learned the valuable lesson of asking what something is versus assuming what it is when it comes to food. NTA. You told her twice what was in it. She didn't know and didn't bother to clarify. She made an assumption, which was really reckless if her diet is important to her beyond food preferences. My sister had better agency over her diet at 5 years old than this person. NTA. Sophie sounds like an ignoramus. That includes her lack of awareness of poverty in the US. She also sounds like a wealthy snob. In some places here, people still need to hunt and fish in order to eat. NTA. You specifically pointed out that it had meat in it. Given the questions and responses I would have followed up with, but no meat, right? If I didn't recognize those animals. She thought a pheasant was a spice? Rolling on the floor, laughing, 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 I'm dead, rolling on the floor, laughing, loudly crying, rolling on the floor, laughing, loudly crying, NTA lol.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.